Hello everybody, welcome back to another Merlin Makes, and today we've got something rather special. So as I mentioned back along on my mumbles, I picked up the Majisto's workshop set, which was a gift with purchase for £240 worth of Lego, direct from Lego. On Black Friday, I didn't want to spend that, so I spent 24 quid on eBay. And it arrived yesterday, surviving a little bit of an inquisitive dog trying to break into the outer box, but the entire package was luckily nicely bubble wrapped, so safely arrived despite Every's useless ability to deliver parcels. But we're not here to mumble about things, we're here to build things. So before we dive into anything, don't forget the usual. There's a like button down there, there's a subscribe button if you aren't already. And of course, there's plenty of links in the video description, including my Patreon page. Yes. We'll be updating Patreon soon, so stick around for more information on that. So, without further ado then, let's get building Majisto's workshop. So here we have the set 40601, Majisto's Magical Workshop. This is a lovely recreation of the classic 1990s set of the same name. A lot of differences to the original set. I never did own that one, but I would have loved to. It was on my wish list as a kid. I did, however, own Majisto's Wizard Shop, which is a small build set inside a hollowed out tree, where Majisto could sell a few things with his faithful pet owl. So if we flip around to the back, we see that it has very much the same features as the original. It opens up. We have two levels, top level and a bottom level. We got a chest, we got a scroll, we got some goblets there, and we got a few equipment pieces for the knight. Sadly, it doesn't include as many options for the knight as the old set did. The old set had a shield, a halberd, which are now brick built as opposed to being a single piece, and had a much more fancier helmet. But yeah, pretty nice set nonetheless. So let's bring in my faithful hobby knife. Be careful with sharp implements. I am a sort of professional. So, baggie one. Instructions. Small bag for number one. Our stickers. So we do have the scroll as a sticker, as a little annoying, and the shutters for the windows are a set of stickers as well, as opposed to being actual elements. We got some classic elements that were first introduced back in those early castle sets. We got the giant pieces of rock, and finally baggie 2. Just check. Oh, there's one more bag. There we go. So we've got a lot of black in bag 2 there. So I will probably find my board to put some of these pieces on, otherwise they'll blend into my backdrop. So I will empty out the contents of bags 1 and get them organized into piles, and we will start building. So before we do get into it, we have our instruction book here, and I've seen a few reviews, and apparently this book is rather notorious for not wanting to stay open. Actually, I'm not having much trouble so far. Maybe. See how we go, but if it does misbehave, I have a little clip to hold it open. So here we go. Right, bags 1 are sorted. So first off, we build Majisto. So we have one of these skirt pieces, a blue torso, his beard, we have the classic Santa head as his face. That clicks on there. And then we got the classic wizard hat component, which was brand new at the time back in the 90s, but has gone largely unchanged. So nothing majorly special. Last pieces we attach to him are his wand, which in the original sets was actually glow in the dark. And we have a little clip piece to hold the scroll, as with the sticker on, it won't quite fit in his hand. There we have Majisto. Like I said, he's not the best. The original one had lovely torso printing. It was just a blue Forestman's torso, so it had the belt, a pouch, and a sort of tunic design. This one he's mostly all plain. The original even had a black cape. If we compare it to the wizard that came in the minifigure collection, which I use as my mascot, we can see it's a bit of a knockdown. Thank you, Mini Merlin, and thank you, Majisto. So let's start our build. So I'm going to take one of those and small one of these, clip it on, and we take one of these plates and that clips together like that. Take a 1x4, two 1x2s and stack them like so. And that goes down there. One of the light green circle pieces attaches there, and then we put our second plate down like that. Want to make two little flowers using a yellow and a green flower stud. Like that and like that. And we want to bring in our black hinges, clip them together, and then that goes on like that to hinge open our set. A black 1x3 goes down like that, and then we bring in our first of these giant rocky pieces, and that goes down like so. A 2x6 bridges the gap there, helping build up the second floor. Take one of these, which will be used to attach the ladder, and we take one of our ramparts, and that finishes off the top floor. One by three upward slant, and a cylindrical piece. I build up the interior detail, so two 1x1 studs which go there, and then a 1x1 and a 1x2 downward slant for the other side. Two black 2x2s to hold this all together. And then we take a 1x2 with a central stud and a yellow brick, and we build the fireplace. Very classic sort of design. This is how they used to build fireplaces back in the day, though they used to have a crisscross sort of build section with 1x3s and yellow bricks. And that goes down there. Next we build our rather empty chest. If If you have any leftover pieces, it might be an idea to fill this. And that goes apparently facing the wrong way in there. And then we bring in our ladder, going down there, and a pot to cook things in. Flipping it around, adding some extra details to the rock face. So a single square stud goes there. One of these forward-facing stud blocks goes there. I skipped a step. We've got to put two of these green pieces up the top, like so. Then we want a one stud with a clip and a slant there. And we cap that all off with a sloping 1x2. I love how they are sticking to the classic way of building trees or using black blocks, just like they used to do back in the days. A 1x1 slant goes there, and a 1x1 curve, half curve, goes just below there, like so. And we take a 1x1 and a 1x2 slant, and that goes there to make roots. That's really quite nice. Next, we want to make up a plant. So we take one of the plant stems and 3 of these yellow plant pieces, and that goes inside the circle piece we put on earlier. Then we want one of these hinge pieces and a curved branch, or as it used to be, the dinosaur tail. Push that in like so, and that clips in there, forming our branch. And that's one side done, so we're going to put that aside and we start work on the second side. Pretty similar steps, just a little bit in the reverse. What I'm going to do is jump to that stage and go backwards to that stage. There we are, slowly taking shape. This part we just need 2 1x1s on each side to finish off the inner wall. 2 2x2 blacks to cap off, and don't forget our little green details which go in there and there. And we got the other side of the fire, which goes there. Then we bring in our 2 before, put our glasses on, and then we get our sticker for the scroll. That goes on like so. That fits in on the inside. Now we can start work on the outside details. So again, we are much the same as before. Just quickly go through this as it will help speed up video time. Jumped a step, but that's fine. Bring in the components for our second flower. There we go. And then we bring in our second branch, and we can bring the 2 components together like so. Next we build the first half of the door. So we're going to want 2 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. So we just stack like so, building up our door. The original set, I believe, had an actual proper door which you could open. So kind of annoying. We've now just got these brick-built facades. But it's moving on with the times. So now we can build the first half of the balcony. Again, more brick-built elements that used to be single pieces back in the days. But they look pretty cool, they serve the purpose. And then we bring in one of these blue feathers, which used to be a dragon in the original set. And that goes on top of that, like so. Next we build the other side, so pretty much the same steps as before. Just putting the bricks on the opposite side so that they will meet together for the lock. And the second balcony piece is again the same, and I have skipped a step on the last one. I was supposed to put two little brown pieces down first, and then the T-bars. There we go. I'll remember to do that the correct way this time. There we are. Next up, we build the window frames. So one of these, one of these, one of these, and one of these. And there you go. Back there like that. And we do the same. So yeah, getting halfway through, and the book is starting to cause problems by closing itself. I might have to bring in the clip for part 2, which will mean a bit more stopping and starting, sadly. Alright, flip the build around. I just realised I haven't been showing that off, so here we are. This is how everything is situated. Now we're working on the chimney at the back. So we want a dark and a light grey with the engraving pieces in it, engraved bricks in it. And you go down like that. Then we put a dark grey on this side and a light grey on this side. So we get a sort of checkered pattern work building. Tool one of these, those there. One of these going in there. Another one of these going in there. Two of these slanted pieces. Forming the chimney. Two 1x1 bricks go in there. We take one of these and one of these, no, just one of those. Then we take two of these, and that goes there. Two of the dark grey bricks, so one goes there, and then one goes there. A dark grey there, and then a light grey there. And then we can take our dark grey hinge, click the two halves together, and that goes there. Two light grey slants go either side of the chimney. Light grey block bricks go there, and the dark grey bricks go there. Our last light and dark grey 1 stud blocks go there and there. And then these L shapes cap it all off like so, and that, I believe, yes, is the completion of bag 1. So bring it in, we can see just how it's shaping up. So really cool, much like the original. Sort of opens up. Got the chimney, fireplace there. You got his 2 levels there, his balcony that you can look out. Yeah, really good. I like the brick built roots growing out through the tree there, through the block. That looks really cool. All right, let's organize bags 2 and we'll start continuing the build. All right, a lot of black pieces in this, so very indicative of the time. But here we go. So we start building our knight. So it is a dragon knight as it was in the old set. But this time around it's a lady knight. Pretty much the only faces we had back in the day was the classic 2 eyes and a mouth smiling head for Lego. So it's very genderless, which is pretty good. But nowadays they're getting a bit more variety in the figures they produce. There's definitely a good range now. We've got babies, we've got females, we've got males, even being representative of people with disabilities, much like myself. Now we got the helmet. Annoyingly, this helmet is a solid piece. In the old days, you used to have a visor that you could tilt up and down. And then we got a blue feather in her cap. And if we wanted to, we can take the helmet off and give her a Princess Leia sort of style head from episode 6. So yeah, that's our knight for the set. Stand her next to Majisto over there. And we can continue with the build. So we'll bring in the workshop. So first off, we want 2 of these rounded 1x2s. There you go on top of the fireplace, like so. A single slanted goes there. Then we've got double hinge pieces, so 2 of these. And there you go, like that. Not too sure, yeah, they don't actually offer any hinging ability. I suppose it's just to have less of a gap, maybe. And this stage we are building 2 balconies, so we'll need these 4x4s, a light grey 1x2 pill studs, I suppose, closest thing I can think of, tablet pill. Then we want a single stud 1x2s, there you go on the opposite side. These little booty shaped bricks go either side like that. Same on here. If I can find them, there they are. And finally, we take 2 of these for each one, the 1x3 upward slant, and they go underneath like so. And these clip on either side like this. There we go. Next up, we want 4 of these zigzaggy pieces. 2, 3, 4, and they bridge the gaps here. Another classic castle element. These were seen in both black and greys. And would often be used, much like this, to cap off parapets, edges of buildings. On the Forestman hideout, little cubby holes. Take 2 more of these quarter pipes, little booty pieces, and 2 of the brown clips, and they go either side of there. Next up, 2 black cylinders, and these go on those corner pieces just there. And next we want to do 2 little builds, so we take 1 by 2, a quarter pipe, a 1 by 1, and a 1 by 1 or a single stud slant. And then do the same on the other side. Next up, we got to build up a couple of windows. So we want a window frame, the golden grills. So gold plastic, as any kid from the 90s will tell you, does not last. So these may do. They are fairly newer moldings, and perhaps they perfected the recipe. But my White Ranger's shield, yeah, didn't last terribly long. Gold plastic is notorious for breaking due to its fragile nature. The metal flakes sort of built into the plastic weaken the strength of it, basically. And that second window goes like that. And now we do the same here, but on this side. So and then we want our 4 2x4 upward slants, and they create the inside part of the frame. Like so. Next, we need to build the components that will eventually hold the roof on. So for that, we need 2 2x4s. On each end, we put a 1 by 2. Then a 2 by 2 slanted goes in the center. A second 1 by 2 goes on top of the previous ones. And finally, we take is 1x2 with the loop, and they sit like so. And then we put them on top our window frame, like so. Continuing to build up the front detail, we take 2 blocks of clips, and they go into the front window frame like so. Then we want 2 of these little pill pieces, and 2 1x3. And then we put 1x2 like that. And there we have our completed window. Bringing in yet more of these quarter pipe pieces. Should be one more, there it is. And we need to put them like so, creating a nice little detail piece. And then we use our last 2 of these to cap them off. Next we need to build our shutters. So we want our 2 1x2 blue plates, 2 of these 1x2 with hinge, and we take our sticker shutters. There we are. And they find their home just there. Next we take these lovely big 1x8 arches, and they bridge the gap between each side of the workshop, like so. Next up, we take a 2x4 and a 2x4 slanted and stack them together. And then the black 1x4 flat top brick. We do that twice. And that goes there, and that one goes there. Ah, that's what's causing the trouble. Then we want to take 2 cylinder pieces, and they go just here. Filling the gap. And we take 1 of the swords, and that sits away there. Not too sure why, but it was a feature on the original. Alright, next we're going to start building the roof. So we'll do this twice. So we want our 6x6 2 1x2s like so, and another 2 1x2s like so, forming the effect of beams over the roof. Next we take a 1x6 or 2 1x6s. They go like that and like that. Next up, our 4x6s go on bottom like so. 2 more 1x6 go like so. Then we might as well flip it all over. We take our red 4x2s and they go outwards like so. And to finish off, we need 6 1x6s to form the underframe. Just like so. Next we take these 2x4s with the slots, and they go dead center along there and there. Then we put a 1x2 above each of them before we use these dome pieces to add strength, like so and like so. Then we take black 2x4s. There you go, either side of here. Then we take 2 1x2s like so. Flipping them back over, we want to take 4 of these. There you go, either side of there. And that's that step done. Finally, to finish off, we take a spear and we make sure we put them in opposite directions so that when we put the roof on, they're both pointing forward. Speaking of the roof, we now take our frame, line the holes up, and we drop in one of these. Just like so. They are at the home stretch, so we take 2 of these to cap off our brown rods so that they don't fall out. And then we need to flip it around. We take our chimney with the black dome for the top of it. That goes there. and a slant goes just there. Flipping it back around, you want to take one of these and one of these and stack them together. And they go one there and one there. We take two of these leaves. You see, they still haven't stopped them from bending. And they get capped and locked in with a slanty. Like so. Next we want to build our halberds, so we take the two dark grey poles and our metallic axe heads, and they go on like so. You can do it that way or that way, whichever you prefer. And they go into our brown clips just in there. They should be just about popping to that level, like that. Next we take our last two branches or trees, spin around to the sides, and we put them on the branches like so. And if you want, you can even angle them a little. Flipping to the front, we've got final little details to put on the front. So we want to take a black hook piece, a slanted, and a candle flame. And then they go either side of the door. And our final piece is, much like the original, we have the lock on the door. Which will help hold the house solid for when he's away. Then we can give the other sword to the knight, and she can come seeking Majisto's wisdom of where she can find a magic shield. So there we have the Majisto's Magical Workshop, and yeah, a fantastic little kit, perfect representation of the classic 90s set. Sadly, I never owned that, but I do believe the 90s is a little bit more superior. They at least had details that this one don't. So if we open up this workshop, they had a little bit more floor space to work with, being on larger plates. They had they actually had treasure. I mean, we could put Majisto's spare wand in, some brown and plant pieces for making potions, so something there at least. But yeah, there's not a lot of room on this to put the minifigures. I believe the original had a little bit more space that they could at least sit around the table better. There's not even a lot of space up on the upper levels. You can have them facing that way, and that's about it. But yeah, the inside is nice. Captures much the feel of the original set. And like I said, the knight can wear her helmet and asks the great Majisto for some advice. And if we want to actually represent the original set, the knight did have a halberd. So there was actually 3 of these in the original set. 2 went on the workshop and 1 was held by the knight. And the knight even had a shield, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this video of me building set 40601, Majisto's Magical Workshop. And until next time, stay safe and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.